Hello there. You should receive a folder of 20 famous paintings according to Google. I just went on Google and typed in famous paintings, and it suggested these paintings for the most part. That's where I got them. Frida Kahlo, Kehinde Wiley, Rene Magritte, Diego Rivera, Francisco Goya, and what we're going to do is a parody or a pastiche. A pastiche is from the late Latin word for paste. Think of a Pop-Tart, or think of some sort of pastry that has just a sweet, creamy filling. It's supposed to just be sweet and lighthearted, and whereas a parody might comment a little bit on some social issue or political issue. Pastiche generally doesn't make any sort of deep philosophical comment, whereas a parody can make fun of the original artwork, or an editorial will express a particular point of view. So, I mean, you're the artist. You can do whatever you want. It could just be lighthearted, or it could actually express something about how you feel about the world around you. So after you scribble on the back of one of these famous paintings, this is Girl with a Pearl Earring by Vermeer. There's a movie starring Scarlett Johansson that I've never seen, but who's Scarlett Johansson? I don't know. She's a Marvel person. She's in those Marvel movies. Anywho, you scribble on the back so there's a thin layer of dust, of graphite dust, and then tape it down so it doesn't slip, and press down, and the pressure from your pen or your pencil is going to push that graphite dust into the paper below it. It's going to be very, very light, but it'll be dark enough where you can see. You can erase parts that you don't want. You can change things. So I could maybe give her a mask. Maybe have her wearing a mask to make some sort of comment on the year 2020 or 2021 and coronavirus and everybody walking around with a mask. I could change the face into Marge Simpson. I've seen that pastiche of this painting with Marge Simpson, who's the mom in the cartoon The Simpsons. All right, so this is a scribbling on the back of The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, and then again, I kind of went with the big theme this year anyway, or this school year, is turn the stars into coronaviruses. This is Diego Rivera, flower carrier, and I was trying to make it into a backpack because the kids who are at school have these, they can't go to their locker, so they have to carry around these backpacks that have to be at least as heavy as some of the 6th, 7th graders themselves. Now, I don't know the title of that painting by Frida Kahlo, but it's almost a pastiche or parody of another famous painting of the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian, who was tied to a tree and arrows were shot into him. A martyr is someone who's killed for their beliefs, and there are different ways that people throughout history have been killed for being religious, or various religions. Okay, anywho, now I'm going to try St. John the Baptist. Speaking of religion, St. John the Baptist of the Wilderness is a common artistic theme. This artist, Kehinde Wiley, likes to take old sort of Renaissance themes from the Italian Renaissance and bring them into the modern world. And so St. John the Baptist, and Kehinde Wiley, his work is, if you ever get a chance to go to the art museum in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Art Museum, you can see a couple Kehinde Wileys, at least one. I think one is a part of the permanent collection. He's known for hyper-realistic, like photorealistic main objects, people, portraits, but then in the background there's a lot of sort of geometric shapes, and that contrast between organic shapes, biomorphic Bio means life, morph means shape. So basically, shapes based on living things like an apple or a banana or a tree or whatever are called biomorphic shapes in art. And shapes that are based on squares and rectangles are called geometric, which are generally shapes that come from man-made things. Anyway, so I scribble on the back. There's a thin layer of graphite dust. I'm going to tape the photocopy to the paper beneath it. I could tape it right to the surface of the table, which I believe is what I'm going to do now, or I could wrap the tape around it. You don't want to tape the whole thing down. You want to just maybe tape on the top so that you can peek every once in a while and see if it's going through. Ooh, I should really stop for a second here. And I'm going to double time the movie so that it goes faster. So I increase the speed ×2. Then you just press down and figure out wherever you press, the pressure from the pencil is going to push the graphite dust into the paper beneath it. The advantage to using the graphite transfer method, which is what we're doing here, as opposed to using carbon paper, is that chances are you probably don't have carbon paper. But carbon paper leaves, you can't erase it, it's ink. When you use graphite dust, I just realized that my thumb is bleeding. Gross. Sorry you have to see that. When you use graphite dust, then you can erase it and you can change it. So I could change her face completely to a cartoon character, perhaps. I think I'm going to turn her into a Jedi because I'm a big nerd and I like Star Wars. Maybe I'll turn that wooden staff into a lightsaber. Perhaps I could turn her into Ahsoka Tano from the hit show The Mandalorian. Or, I don't know. Maybe I'll just make up my own new Jedi, and then in the background I'll have like the Death Star or something like that. All right, so I hope that makes sense. A parody or a pastiche of a famous painting.